This simple trick will make you motivated every day. Why does motivation disappear? Have you ever noticed that motivation appears and disappears as if by magic? One day you are full of energy, ready to move mountains, and the next day you procrastinate and put everything off until later. Sound familiar? We often think that successful people always feel inspired and are simply born with iron discipline. But in fact, this is not true. They just know the secret that helps them keep themselves in good shape every day. Now you will learn a simple trick that will help you trigger motivation on demand, even if you do not feel like doing anything at all. The myth of motivation. The main mistake most people make is that they wait for motivation to start. It seems logical. First, the desire to do something appears, then you start acting. But the truth is that motivation is unpredictable. It comes not when we need it, but when it wants to. If you wait until you are covered by a wave of enthusiasm, you risk doing nothing. Successful people do not depend on motivation because they know motivation comes after action and not the other way around. A simple trick that always works. The secret is not to wait for inspiration, but to trick your brain and force yourself to start. This method is called the minimal start rule. It works according to a very simple scheme. Divide the task into micro actions. Let's say you need to write a report, but you can't force yourself to start. Instead of thinking, now I'll sit down and write the whole report, tell yourself, I'll just open the document. If you want to start running, do not tell yourself, now I'll run 5 kilometers. Instead say, I'll just put on my running shoes. Sounds strange, but this trick breaks the psychological barrier. As soon as you take the first minimal step, the brain switches to action mode, and it will be easier for you to continue. Use the 2-minute rule. Starting difficult tasks is always difficult because the brain is afraid of great efforts. But if you tell yourself, I'll just work on this for 2 minutes, the resistance disappears. For example, you need to learn a foreign language. Instead of thinking about hours of studying, say, I'll just read 1 word. Most often, after these 2 minutes, you will no longer want to stop because the hardest thing is to start. The 1 more minute method. If you feel like stopping while working, try telling yourself, I'll do this for 1 more minute. This technique helps to overcome the moment of fatigue and prolong the work. After all, 1 minute is not so scary, right? Scientific fact. Our brain hates unfinished business. This is called the Zeigarnik effect. If you started to do something but did not finish, the brain will push you to finish. So if you take even a tiny step, your brain will pull you further. How to enhance the effect. To make this method work even better, use additional tricks. Create a start ritual. The brain loves familiar triggers. For example, if you want to write a book, always drink a cup of coffee before starting work. If you want to exercise, turn on the same music before training. Surround yourself with the right people. If you are surrounded by people who are lazy and do nothing, it will also be difficult for you to stay motivated. And if you communicate with active and goal-oriented people, it will be easier for you to move forward. Focus on the process, not the result. Often people are afraid to start because they think about the end result. I need to write 20 pages. I need to lose 10 kilograms. I need to earn $1 million. But if you focus not on the result, but on the process itself, it will be easier for you to move forward. Conclusion: don't wait for inspiration. Start acting, even if you don't want to. Divide tasks into small steps. Use 2 minutes and 1 more minute. Motivation is not magic, but a habit that can be developed. Write in the comments, what goal will you start doing right today?